News Network, home of the High School Football Big 22 Award, celebrating over 25 years of live television sports in the Valley. This is the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week, sponsored by Stadium GM, Sheely's, and Geo College.
Live from Boardman High School, the Coliseum. It is the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight, the Boardman Spartans play host to the Youngstown Defenders in Week 1 action here in 2026. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski alongside Ralph Sandy. Glad you're with us. Boardman won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. And so it will be Youngstown getting its hands on the football, this brand new Defenders team. And the Youngstown Defenders come out with groups of players from both Cheney and East. Of course, they merged and now have formed a superpower team, and they'll get their hands on the football, led by quarterback Asante Michael. Michael turns and gives, and a great play defensively by Boardman's Kelly Pavlik. And yes, the question is that the son of former boxer Kelly Pavlik? And the answer is indeed yes. But Ralph, an exciting night, an emotional night, as this new program is here, and a lot of confidence from the Boardman squad as well, fresh off a couple of playoff appearances.
Yeah, you spend all summer working so hard for this moment, and we'll see how they do here in the early going.
Asante Michael fires to the near side. It is complete. Khalil Mason made the catch, and he has a Youngstown first down. Of course, the Youngstown Defenders, their primary colors listed: red, yellow, blue, white, and black. Sort of resembling the New England Patriots uniforms as you look at them. So we're just underway. Youngstown with the football. Michael to throw. He steps up. He's flushed. He throws complete. Near side down to the 41-yard line. Hauled in on the play by Mike Stanley. And that is going to be close to a first down. If not a first down, going to say, yeah, there it is. It is a first down. I thought so. It was more than a yard beyond the line to gain.
And Youngstown shows you here in the early going, they're willing to throw the ball, run the ball. They're going to do a lot of different things on this offensive side. They're not just going to be based in the run. A nice job early on by Asante Michael.
Michael on the keeper, cuts it upfield, and he got dragged down. Football came out. Boardman says that the Spartans should have the ball, but we're going to say incomplete pass, or is it just ruled down?
We see Michael with the carry. Certainly it looked like his knees were down.
Yep.
A nice job by Carter Detmer getting to him in the open field.
So a pickup of 2 yards. The official was pointing emphatically at the ground. So it is 2nd down and 7 for the Defenders. Run play right side, Sidney Davis. And Davis muscles his way for positive yardage.
Yeah, but it's Sidney Davis early on in this ball game who returned that opening kickoff to set up Youngstown in pretty good field position.
Davis got some touches last season. He's also a standout inside linebacker, very much a downhill runner, but he has the speed to break one, that's for sure. But he loves to play very physical football, does Sidney Jones, a senior. 3rd down and 4, and we have our first penalty flag that has been thrown. Our referee tonight is John Palowitz. Our umpire, Larry Hawthorne, line judge Gary Weary, headlinesman George Nanowski, Joe Materitz is the back judge, and Terry Turigno is the center judge. So that makes an even more difficult situation for Youngstown. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Asante Michael looks to throw, directing traffic. He fires downfield, incomplete. So after picking up some positive yardage on this initial possession of the ball game, it is now 4th down and 9 with 9:55 left in the opening quarter. And let's see if the punt group will come out for Youngstown, or if they'll leave the offense out there. It looks as if the offense is staying out there. This is also a scenario where the normal punter may not come out. Maybe they would pooch kick it with the quarterback. We have a timeout taken. 9:55 left to play in the opening quarter. We'll take it as well. No score on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Michael takes the snap, fires incomplete on 4th down and 9, and it is a turnover on downs. So that Boardman defensive group bent early in the drive, but it did not break, and the Spartans get the football now.
Yeah, and the defenders trying to keep him guessing there. You know, Asante Michael was back there at that punter/quarterback position, but he was about 10 yards back from the line of scrimmage. You really didn't know what he was going to do, whether he was going to quick kick it or throw it. And, you know, I'll blame him for taking that chance there where they are on the field at the 40-yard line. But now Boardman does take over with pretty good field position for their first possession.
Spartans have it at the 40-yard line with 9:50 left to play in quarter number 1. We will see likely 2 quarterbacks playing. Getting the start to get this thing underway on the first possession for Boardman is junior Logan Miller. Miller takes the snap. He turns and gives it to Ryan Mitchell, and Mitchell tries the left side and did not find a whole ton of running room. So it will bring up 2nd down and long for the Spartans.
I think looking at Youngstown in the 3 games and obviously on the first drive on offense, now on defense, I mean, I think it's the size that is the most impressive. Their D-line, O-line is just huge.
2nd down and 9. Miller turns and gives up the middle. Ahead to the 43 goes Frank Butto. Brought down by Dion Perry Jr. Butto is a team captain. He's a two-way standout. Tremendous on both sides of the ball. A very physical player, and boy, does he run hard. He has very good vision, a very physical runner. Makes good cuts in the wing tee that is so difficult to defend. Pickup of 2 on his first carry of the season. 3rd down and 7. Run play goes to Aiden Moore. He got dragged down after a short pickup of about 1 yard. Tackled by Asante Michael. And that will bring up 4th down and 6. Ryan Mitchell in punt formation. Back deep to return for Youngstown is Dalen Farrell. Clean snap. Mitchell gets the kick away. It's a wobbly kick angled towards the near sideline, and a very short kick as well. We'll take a timeout. We're back after this on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Spartan student section out in full force. It's a bit of a beach theme. Looking to catch a win are the Spartans and that famous Boardman marching band in the band shell, diagonal from exactly where we are. No score as we welcome you back here early in the first quarter. 7:52 left to play in the opening quarter. The first Friday night of the high school football season. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you on this Friday night. Asante Michael takes the snap. He turns and gives. This is Tristan Pollard cutting the corner, and a flag came out right as that tackle was being made, and it's in the area of a hold, probably.
Keep in mind on that last possession by Youngstown, it was a 5-yard penalty. They kind of set them back behind the chains and derailed that drive. And now here on the first play of the second drive, a little bit more of the same.
So the defenders will start the drive, working from behind following the hold in terms of yardage. 1st and 20 now. That after an 18-yard Boardman punt. Asante Michael with one back in the backfield. 4 wide receivers set, 2 to each side. And we have another flag against Youngstown.
Yeah, Charlie Harrison wasn't even down in his stance, and he took that hand off the ground.
So this is becoming a very difficult situation. 1st down and 25 now. The defender's running back is Tristan Pollard. He lines up in a wing on the left side. 2 wide receivers near side to the left. They'll bring a man in motion, one far side to the right. Michael looking to throw, trying to dump it off, does so. Catch made, 30. Pollard had his knee hit the ground. He was still trying to pick up some yardage ahead to the 32. Isaiah Payne is there to make the tackle for Boardman, and it'll set up 2nd down and long.
Well, nice play design that time. You see Michael look to his left to try to set up that screen, and then comes back to the other side and throws it to Pollard. Had some blockers out in front of him. Just a good play in the open field by Isaiah Payne to get a piece of that foot to get him to his knee.
Pick up a 5 yard, 2nd down and 20 for Youngstown. Michael brings a man in motion. Little pop pass across the middle. Hauled in by Mike Stanley on that little pop pass. Cash Felger made the stop. And that will set up a 3rd down play. You would imagine for both teams some early jitters coming into week 1. There's some young players on the field for both sides, and a lot of emotion for the Youngstown side as well, realizing this is a historic night with the new program.
Yeah, I mean, certainly nerves on both sides. You know, when you talk about being disciplined, this is where you see it the most, that 1st and 2nd week of the season, where you make some mental mistakes just for lack of repetition.
Michael rolling, looking downfield. It's tipped and almost intercepted. Ryan Mitchell got his hands on it, and he almost came up with the turnover. But it's 4th down and 19, and Youngstown will have to punt.
You see Michael that time rolling out of the pocket, kind of throws that sidearm into traffic.
And now we have a whistle, and the play is blown dead. So delay of game against the defenders, and those penalties, Ralph, are really, really piling up now.
Yeah, and as they continue to move backwards, Boardman looking at getting better and better field position.
It was one of the keys to the game for Seth Antrim. He said, eliminate mistakes. You won't eliminate them, but you got to keep them to a minimum at least. Michael gets the kick away. This is sky high, a very short punt. It hits at the 46, and it will take a Boardman bounce and be touched down at the 44-yard line. And so that was a very short punt, and Boardman is in business and will open the drive in Youngstown territory. The area's best football players are part of WKBN's Big 22. The Big 22 is sponsored by Lube Stop and by Coca's Pizza. Go to WKBN.com and click on sports to see the top high school football players in the Valley. So Boardman will get another crack on the offensive end of things, led by quarterback Logan Miller. Couple of backs in the backfield, Mitchell and Butto. The give is to Butto, straight up the middle. Butto barrels his way down to the 35-yard line, and that will be a Spartan 1st down. 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Spartans send out 2 wide receivers far side to the left. That would be Aiden Moore and Coben Scarcella. In motion comes Carter Detmer right to left. And the give is to Mitchell. Mitchell grabbed, and he got spun backwards for a loss on the play. Tremendous penetration by the Youngstown defenders' defense.
Yeah, Sidney Davis was on that so quickly. Watch number 4 on the defense. He's going to beat his guy to the inside and just meets the running back right at the ball. Unfortunately, that wasn't a turnover for Ryan Mitchell as he got hit about the same time as he got the handoff.
Loss of 3 officially, 2nd down and 13. Coben Scarcella wide out to the left. 2 backs in the backfield. Logan Miller under center. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he is spun down. He powers his way down to the 36-yard line. Short pickup, setting up. 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, really, that looked like a busted play. Logan Miller almost turned to look to hand off the ball. Nobody was there. He does make something out of it, gaining 3 or 4 yards. But now a long 3rd down conversion attempt.
A wide receiver split to each side. Butto is the running back. Logan Miller fires. It's high, intended for Deshaun Robinson, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down and 11. So these 2 defenses have answered the bell here in this opening quarter.
Yeah, Deshaun Robinson had separation. He was open. Just Logan Miller misfired right there, and you'll give credit to that defender defense.
So Boardman will now punt the football away. Ryan Mitchell to do the punting. Mitchell gets this one away. It is hauled in and taken by Michael. Michael with a flag down, cuts it to the outside, down the far sideline, got knocked out of bounds. Brought down on the play by Zizou Hadadan. But there is a flag down on the near side of the field.
Boardman, 13 wide. We penalized from the end of the run.
Khalil Mason called for the hold. So Youngstown will come back out. What do you expect to see as they feel each other out here in this opening quarter?
You know, on that first drive from Youngstown, a little bit surprised. They went to the air more than a few times, and then they came out on that second drive. I expected more of the same, but really those penalties really hurt them and limited what they could do play call-wise. But, you know, now they're going to have a 1st down and 10, and we'll see what they let Asante Michael do at that quarterback position. He truly is a dual-threat quarterback, can run. We've seen that over the years from him. If they could add that element of pass and be successful, it makes this offense very difficult to defend.
Sidney Davis is the running back. He takes the football and does not net very much yardage whatsoever. See if they give him any positive yardage. It may be no gain on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the size of that Youngstown offensive line. They're just getting beat off the ball by that defensive line from Boardman. They're just hitting the gaps quicker, getting off the ball quicker, and really not allowing these running backs for Youngstown anywhere to run. We'll see if Youngstown maybe tries to use that speed a little bit more to the outside to see if they can get advantage out there.
Michael turns and gives over the right side to Pollard, and that hole closed quickly. Logan Perry there to make the stop. The junior linebacker plugged up that hole. Michael fakes the handoff, looking to go downfield. He will tuck it. He will run, slicing back across the field to the 25. There's a flag down. Michael dragged down at the 39-yard line. But let's check out the flag that is back at the 26-yard line. This could be perhaps a hold. And we will get the official word from John Palowitz.
Holding number 52 wide. The intended penalty.
So that is going to make the scenario more difficult for the defenders.
Well, you take away that penalty. I mean, I think you could see what Asante Michael brings to that quarterback position.
No
the ability
doubt.
to roll out, look down the field. If nothing's there, he can create. And And that's an element of the offense that any defense that they play this year is going to struggle to contain.
So after they march off the yardage, it will be 3rd down and 11. On 3rd down and 11. They'll dump it off to the far side. Catch is made, and an outstanding piece of tackling by Ryan Mitchell.
Well, just a quick screen. You try to get some blocking out in front. They had a blocker, but boy, Ryan Mitchell just beat his guy. Shed that block, slid over, and made the tackle. Great play by the senior.
4th down and 12. Youngstown will have to punt. Back deep to return. It's Aiden Moore. Michael gets the kick away. It's a high floating kick. It's hauled in by Moore. 40, 35, and he's spun down at the 30-yard line, and Boardman is set up nicely with a $1:19 left in the opening quarter as the Spartans look to break a scoreless tie. WKBN's Big 22 includes the 5 blocks of granite, which honors the top high school football linemen in the Valley. It is sponsored by the Moransky Companies and Tight Seal Glass Block. Go to WKBN.com and click on sports to see the top high school football players in the Valley. So Boardman comes back out, and we see a new quarterback. Cash Felger will take over. Felger is a young player, a sophomore. And he's stepping into it right in week 1. Felger turns and gives. This is Isaiah Payne. And Payne falls forward for some positive yardage. Spartans bring a man in motion. Payne takes the handoff straight up the middle. Payne got knocked down just outside the 20-yard line. Asante Michael there to make the stop. But it will be a 1st down for Youngstown. On the defensive side, Boardman, though, has it 1st down and 10.
And Boardman has had pretty good field position up to this point. Haven't been able to take advantage. You know they need to take advantage of it here.
Run play goes to Payne. Payne darts up the middle. All the way down to the 11-yard line. Spartans into the B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel red zone. Dion Perry there to make the stop. And that is going to do it for us here in the 1st quarter. We go to the 2nd quarter. No score of the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. All set for the 2nd quarter here at Spartan Stadium in Boardman. No score between Boardman and Youngstown. Boardman on the move, however. 2nd down and 3 from the Youngstown 13-yard line. The run play goes over the left side. It's down to the 6 and then the 5-yard line. Strong running by Frank Butto. And it'll be 1st down and goal.
Yeah, you're starting to notice a pattern now on this drive. A lot of running behind the 2 tight ends, Carter Detmer and Kelly Pavlik, doing a nice job of moving people and finally getting this Boardman running game on track.
The quarterback is Cash Felger. Felger takes the snap, turns and gives it to Butto. He got slammed down. The big guy, Charlie Harrison, 6'6", 355 pounds, slammed him to the brand new turf here at Spartan Stadium. It's a loss of 3 on the play. 2nd and goal.
Well, they go to run behind the 2 tight ends again, but Harrison just too big, too quick off the line that play.
Yeah, Harrison is an absolute monster. Getting college looks at the Division I level with that size, as you'd imagine. Felger turns and gives to Payne, trying to squeeze his way through for positive yardage, but there's a flag. that came in, and it's probably going to back Boardman up even more.
And give credit to Cash Felger. He got stepped on by his own offensive line. And he did a good job just to get that handoff to his running back, but all for naught as this play's coming back.
Second down and goal from the 19-yard line. Boardman goes back to work. Felger with a couple of backs in the backfield and another flag.
Yeah, it looked like Boardman moved early again.
So a lot of talk in this first half about penalties, and a lot of times you see this in week one.
And that's a perfect example right there. You know, you got Owen Selly moving early. And, you know, when you're pulling these linemen early in these games, early in the season, I mean, they're eager to go. You know, they want to beat their man. They want to get where they're supposed to go. And, you know, that's just part of the nerves and the learning process.
Second down and goal from the 24-yard line. Felger looking to throw, flushed from the pocket, dumps it off. It is caught, but it'll be a loss on the play. Back to the 25, maybe even the 26-yard line. Aiden Moore made the grab, but Felger was under duress with those big guys coming at him, and Moore's knees were already on the turf. By the way, we haven't had a chance to mention it. It is brand new turf here. It looks great. Apparently it's very cushiony. We were standing on it for a little while earlier, and it feels very good. I don't want to be tackled on the turf, but you know what I mean. Felger takes the snap, rolling to the right side, dumps it off. Payne makes the catch. He got dragged out of bounds inside the 20 at the 18 as Boardman is back into the B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel red zone, but it's going to be a difficult task facing now a long way to go to get into that end zone. Rolling clock, 9:33 and counting. And so it appears the field goal unit is coming on, and it will be Oswaldo Salinas. Left-footed kicker, snap back, ball down, kick up. Kick is good! 34-yard field goal for Oswaldo Salinas. Boardman with a 3-0 lead on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. And welcome back to Spartan Stadium. Boardman 3, Youngstown 0. As we welcome you back, Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you. Fans out in full force. Number of tailgates in the area, celebrating a lot of the other Boardman sports. So back deep to return for Youngstown. Couple of guys back there. Dalen Farrell nearest us, and it looks like Sidney Davis across the way. Football is boomed down the field by Brody Ferris. It's dropped and then picked up and taken out across the 30, ahead to the 32-yard line. And on that return, the defenders looking good, but Boardman looking good. Set up by some great field position, Ralph, and they took advantage.
Yeah, and they needed to early on in this ballgame. Had great field position. Their defense held up, so they come out, they established the run game. Fortunately, some penalties, some negative plays set them back as well, and they get the field goal to take the lead here.
That scoring drive is sponsored by On Demand Occupational Medicine. 35-yard field goal by Oswaldo Salinas. First down and 10 for Youngstown, trying to get something going. 3 wide receivers. Far side to the left. Asante Michael will give it up the middle. Breaking tackles. This is Sidney Davis. Davis bobbing and weaving his way up ahead of the 50-yard line for a defender's first down. He's starting to get a little confidence, it appears.
Yeah, and I think they just need to get into a rhythm. I think in that first quarter and their first possession in the second just kind of seemed out of sync, and the penalties didn't help, and that first down play could get them back in this, get them back in their groove.
20-yard run for Sidney Davis, 1st and 10 for Youngstown. That may have been a backwards pass. It's picked up and taken down the sideline and out of bounds. That was picked up off the turf by Dalen Farrell. From our vantage point, it looked like the ball was going backwards.
Absolutely, and give Farrell credit for knowing, that was a lateral and that he needed to get on that ball with a backwards pass.
And it went from a near disaster to a good situation. 2nd down and short. And we have a flag that comes flying in. It's another Youngstown defender's penalty for illegal procedure or false start.
False start, number 13, Youngstown. You're playing down.
Khalil Mason, the guilty party. So now what was a 2nd and 2 becomes 2nd down and 7 or 8. So Asante Michael sends out 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 far side to the left. He'll dump it off to the near side. Catch is made by Farrell. Farrell bobs and weaves his way, and he got it written down from the backside at the 31-yard line. Ball squirted out, but he was already down. Frank Butto there to make the stop, but not before the defenders pick up a big first down.
Yeah, you like the quick pass game right there. Michael gets rid of the ball so quickly to Farrell. And, man, he catches that and goes. And, boy, you see the ball does come out. Butto with a nice tackle.
14-yard pass completion and a first down.
And you see Farrell trying to come out of the game. He has to stay in. A little bit banged up, has to get reset.
Tristan Pollard is the running back. Michael looking to throw, pumping once, now throwing long down the left side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Payne. And they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 8:09 left to play. Following tonight's action, we'll select a player of the game. This is one player that has made the greatest impact during our Game of the Week. Our Player of the Game award is sponsored by Stadium GM, Classic Real Estate, and Soup City Designs. So 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Spartans. Logan Miller is back in at quarterback. Couple of backs in the backfield. Spartans keep it to the ground. They try the right side. And that is a run by Ryan Mitchell. Deshaun Matlock is there to make the tackle for the defenders. Pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7. So the Spartans trying to take advantage. Remember, they won the coin toss, and so they deferred to the second half. So a score here for Boardman would be mammoth. Miller rolling, looking to throw, and he is sacked. Brought down on the play by Jaden Mack. And we have an injured defender.
And you can see Jaden Mack just move to his right, shed his guy, and he's just on Logan Miller before Miller could even react.
We'll take a timeout for the injury. Back after this on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. As always, the Boardman Spartan student section out in full force. And a number of them were here very early getting ready, putting signs up, getting prepared, getting into costume, so to speak.
Yeah, they're looking for something to get excited about, looking for a big play from this offense.
So it will be 3rd down and 18 from the 12-yard line for the Spartans. Logan Miller is the quarterback, and Miller give it up the middle. And not a ton of running room there for Frank Butto. It'll be 4th down upcoming, and the Spartans will have to send the punt team out.
And you look at this field position, if you're Youngstown, you know you're going to get the ball in pretty good field position right here. Haven't been able to take advantage of it much here in the first half. They know heading into this halftime, and like you mentioned, Chad, Boardman going to get the ball to start that third quarter. Youngstown with good field position coming after this punt needs to take advantage of it.
Ryan Mitchell in punt formation. High snap. Mitchell snags it, gets the kick away. It's a wobbly one. Asante Michael makes the fair catch at the 41-yard line. So 1st down and 10. They may even give him the 40. But 1st down and 10 for the Youngstown defenders, trying for the first points in program history. We have 6 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first half. Following tonight's action, we will select the play of the game. Our play of the game is sponsored by Stadium GM and by Bechtel Controls. So Youngstown has shown the ability to move the ball in this first half, but boy, the theme has been those penalties that have set them back. Michael, such a dangerous player, dumps it off to the far side. Catch is made by Farrell. Farrell barreling down the far sideline, picks up enough for a 1st down, stays in bounds as that clock continues to roll. Frank Butto there to make the stop for Boardman.
And this is a play they've had with some success here early in the early going. Just that quick rocket screen, getting your guys out into space. Yeah, I think you'll start to see those Boardman defenders start creeping up a little bit. You wonder if you can get like a hitch go and try something down the field.
Michael on the keeper, straight up the middle. 15, stumbles down to the 10-yard line. And it is now the Youngstown defenders in the B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel red zone. Michael getting into a bit of a groove for the defenders.
Yeah, and you saw that guy come in motion with the fake handoff, really drew that defense over to the quarterback's right, and he's able to keep it and take it right up the middle.
1st down and 10. They mark the ball at the 11 following a 14-yard pickup. Asante Michael fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, trying to cut the corner. He's hemmed in, breaks another tackle, falls forward. Down to the 10 for a pickup of 1. Santino Walker was among the Spartans there to make the tackle.
Yeah, and it's Walker that is still on the turf.
So he will be attended to and need some medical supervision.
There you see the read by Michael, decides to keep it. And then Santino Walker stayed home on that side, played it really well.
So we're in an injury timeout as the injured player, Santino Walker, the Boardman junior linebacker. It's turned out to be a terrific night. So many times in week 1 of the season, you have that heat and humidity, and it's been that way through 2-a-days and all of summer practice, late camp. But boy, the last couple of nights, it's been tremendous. And I think the coaches and players and the fans and the broadcasters especially love it as well.
Absolutely. Certainly, I think back to last year, the triple header to start the season. I mean, we were dying up in those press boxes. And, you know, you had a nice breeze here tonight. You see a full stadium here at Boardman. And you know, that sun's gone down. It's even a little bit cooler.
So out of the injury timeout, Walker able to walk off the field under his own power. 2nd down and 9. The running back for Youngstown is Tristan Pollard. Now the run play goes to Pollard straight up the middle, powering his way inside the 10-yard line. We'll see where they give him forward progress to. Looks like down to the 9 for another short pickup. But if you're the defenders, you've got to take advantage of this situation here. Couldn't have asked for much more. They mark the ball inside the 10. As that clock winds down here inside 5 minutes. And we have a stoppage. Let's see, do we have a penalty?
False start, Youngstown, 50, 5 yards, previous ball.
So that's not a good situation to be in.
And really, that's a situation they've put himself in all night here in the first half so far. You know, take a couple steps forward, and these penalties keep forcing him back.
Asante Michael on 3rd down and 13, brings a man in motion right to left. Michael rolling, he's under duress, looking towards the end zone, firing incomplete. So Michael with the incomplete pass, and it will set up 4th down and 13. So 4th and 13, and you see he was under great duress. Carter Detmer was providing the pressure. Spartan defense trying to answer the bell on 4th and 13, and we have a timeout taken. A big play here in this situation late in the first half, Ralph.
Yeah, I certainly don't mind the timeout right there to get things together defensively. Boardman sees the formation they came out in with 4 wide receivers to the right-hand side. You take the timeout, you go over responsibilities with your team, but you know, you just keep looking back at this first half and the missed opportunities that the defenders have had, and certainly that will be a huge point of emphasis for Coach Antrim at the half.
Spartan defense came with a great reputation. They've got some hard hitters and some big guys up front clogging things up, and as good as advertised here in this first half, Ralph.
Yeah, not a lot of missed tackles. You know, when they hone in on their guy, they're able to make the tackles by themselves, getting a lot of helmets to the ball. And then right here you see when that ball's in the air, it's fair game, and a nice interception by Isaiah Payne.
So it will be 4th and 13. What do you dial up here if you're head coach Seth Antrim?
Yeah, I mean, it's just difficult. I mean, you hope to get a matchup on the outside, maybe man-to-man, and beat somebody on some crossing routes to come out a little different formation than they showed when they came out the first time.
Michael looking to throw under pressure, zips it, end zone! And it's caught for a touchdown! Deshaun Matlock on an absolute dart from Asante Michael, and the defenders take the lead.
Yeah, just going to run a post right across the middle. You see him coming across, beats his man to the middle of the field, and Michael puts it exactly where it needs to be. And you could even see that calf cramp right there. I think he'll take it. Would you trade the touchdown for a calf cramp for Deshaun Matlock? I think you would. And not many times do we get to say the first touchdown in program history.
So that will indeed go down as the first touchdown. Michael threw for over 1,100 passing yards. Here's another look at it. He had 11 touchdowns through the air, and that's just an outstanding catch in traffic, no less.
Yeah, you just try to beat your man to the inside, get inside. He does it, and that offensive line gives Michael enough time at that quarterback position to throw a bullet right to his receiver who didn't have a choice but to catch it.
So Matlock hauls it in. It's a 14-yard touchdown pass. And now the extra point try coming courtesy of Austin Brown. Out of the hold of Caden Cotton. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and the kick is no good. So with 4:16 left to play here in the first half, it's a 3-point lead for Youngstown at 6-3. But you had to take advantage of the opportunity that was presented. Youngstown did just that, and an even more difficult situation on 4th down and 13.
Yeah, really, they tried to give it away. Remember where that drive started? Boardman punted. Dave Fair caught the ball at the 40. Only had 40 yards to go. They started moving it. Then the penalties crept up again, but they were able to overcome it for the first time here tonight, put the ball in the end zone. But Boardman still 2 timeouts, 4 minutes left on the clock, has a lot of time to try to get their offense in gear.
So now Boardman will get the football back. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Back deep to return for the Spartans. Isaiah Payne and Ryan Mitchell. Austin Brown will kick the ball off. How even the time of possession is. Very even. It's been back and forth. Not a ton of scoring by any stretch of the imagination, but Boardman will look to answer back. Keep in mind, Spartans get the football to start things in the 3rd quarter. Austin Brown slowly measures off his steps. Brown with a twirling kick. It is hauled in, taken across the 20, 25, 30. Mitchell out ahead to the 41-yard line. And that will help Boardman's cause with plenty of time and 2 timeouts. But Youngstown getting a steady diet of big-time plays from Asante Michael, distributing the ball. And then using the wheels as well. And then an absolute dart into the end zone for the touchdown, giving the defenders a 6-3 lead. That scoring drive sponsored by our friends at On Demand Occupational Medicine. From the 41-yard line, Spartans will set up shop. Looks like a busted play on the keeper. Logan Miller fell forward. He turned and tried to give the ball to somebody, and there was nobody there, so he turned and said, well, I'll take my own chances.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen that tonight for the Spartans. And you never know who's at fault there. If the quarterback turned the wrong way, if the running back went the wrong way, but they turned it into something positive, gained about 2 or 3 yards on the play. But, at this point in the second quarter with good field position, you really got to take advantage of it. The mental mistakes are really hurting both teams.
2nd down and 7 from the 44 for Boardman. Miller gives it up across the 45 to the 46-yard line. New ball carrier in there, Jordan Hodge. It's another thing about DJ Dota's team is the fact that they have a lot of different guys that can carry the ball. They're all a little bit different. They've got the bruising backs. They've got the burners.
And when you have a situation like that, you just try to play the hot hand. If you can get one of those guys to kind of get hot and ride him for a while, they're looking for one of those backs to step up here.
3rd down and 5 for Boardman. Miller and a quick hitter straight up the middle. Look at Butto rumbling his way for a Boardman 1st down. Boy, he leaves it all in the field. Such great effort, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's just a quick hitter again up the middle. You can see him beat the lineman right to the ball that time. When you need those tough yards, that's the guy you're always going to lean on, Frank Butto, the senior.
I asked him if there's a guy that plays on Sundays or previously plays on Sundays that he kind of models his game after. He mentioned Hall of Famer Luke Kuechly. That guy likewise left it on the field, and Butto's a tremendous linebacker as well. On first down and 10, Miller under duress. He's dropped back at the 41-yard line. Marcus Cobb slammed him to the turf.
And if it's not penalties, it's just negative plays. You see Marcus Cobb just fired out of a cannon there to get the sack.
That's something that DJ Dota talked about, how athletic that defensive line is, how well those guys move up front for the defenders.
I mean, they're athletic and they're big. And if you're Boardman, you pick up that big first down with Butto, you're sitting at 1st and 10, and boy, all of a sudden a 10-yard loss on the sack.
Second down and 20 for Boardman. You bring a man in motion, and the give is to Scarcella. And he got dropped right away, and now a timeout has been called by East, I do believe. Defenders defensively. We've talked a lot about Boardman, but boy, the defenders have been really good as well. Those pads are popping down there, and they really swarm to the ball. Look at all the hats and white jerseys there, making sure that there is no big chunks picked up. They're coming out here with a vengeance here tonight.
Yeah, those D linemen are doing such a good job of getting off the ball, fighting off of blocks, and we've seen a few sacks, we've seen a few balls batted down, and when you have that combination of size and speed on that D line, it helps your linebackers, it helps everybody.
So now Youngstown has one timeout remaining. .106 remaining. 6-3 in favor of the defenders.
You know, one of the things when you're facing a very aggressive defense like Youngstown has, sometimes you consider some misdirection, maybe a little trick play to get them to over pursue.
Third down and 20. One thing Boardman can ill afford is any kind of a turnover right here at this spot on the field. And Miller will give it up the middle to Butto, and Butto reaches the 45 for a pickup of about 3, but that's it. And now Seth Antrim will call a timeout for Youngstown.
And you look at the middle of all that, Butto gets that handoff running right into Dion Perry, Sidney Davis, the linebackers, just nowhere to go.
Not at all. We're down to 56 seconds remaining. And the defenders are out of timeouts. Boardman has 2 remaining. And obviously Boardman will punt the ball away here on 4th down. And it certainly sets the stage for what should be an exciting second half of play, because with just 9 total points scored, this one obviously hanging in the balance.
And I think an exciting halftime for both these teams, because they're going to hear it from their coaches. You know, we expect the penalties, a couple turnovers there for week 1 and 2, but you know, there's a lot of things that could be eliminated. And I think these head coaches are going to let their teams know about it.
So on 4th down and long, Ryan Mitchell will punt it. See if Youngstown comes after it. They will. And that one was almost blocked. Mitchell gets it away. It's angled towards the far sideline and out of bounds. Probably the best case scenario for Boardman as far as that goes, alleviating any possible big return. 47 seconds left in the second quarter. It'll be 1st and 10. We'll see where the ball is officially marked. And it looks like it's going to be put down slowly but surely at the 19. So here come the defenders.
You think about taking a deep shot here. The only deep shot Asante Michael threw today was picked off, so you don't want to get too risky down the field in this position.
Low snap, Michael picks it up, turns, gives, run play, blown up. A wall of maroon jerseys right there, clogging things up as Davis got blasted down, led by Frank Butto, who piled up 117 tackles last fall.
Yeah, you see the first one there. Kelly Pavlik, the first one there, doesn't get credit for the tackle, but really disrupts that play from the beginning. And there you see Butto, he's the one that cleans it up.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He's such a motivated player, such a team guy. Tremendous run stopper. That's his reputation on the defensive side. And with that, the first half is in the books. So we have played one half of football here at Spartan Stadium. Your halftime score: the Youngstown Defenders 6, the Boardman Spartans 3. Our halftime festivities will commence when we come back. You're watching live coverage of the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Under the Friday night lights for the very first time in the 2026 high school football regular season, we greet you tonight live from Spartan Stadium in Boardman as we're all set for quarter number 3. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you. The Youngstown Defenders with a 6-3 lead on the Boardman Spartans. What are you looking for here in this third quarter with the Spartans getting their hands on the football to start?
You know, I think both of these offenses are predicated on the run, and I think both teams are going to look to establish that run game, be a little bit more consistent, cut down on the turnovers, try to cut down on those penalties, and really just kind of take over this game in the second half.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy what should be an entertaining second half of play. A reminder, we'll be back with you tomorrow night from over at Mineral Ridge High School. It will be Valley Christian and McDonald facing off as we wrap up our Week 1 triple header. We'll be on the air live at 7 o'clock tomorrow night from Ridge. Hope you'll join us. We'll also stream it live on the WKBN app as well as WKBN Plus. So the football is teed up by Austin Brown, and he will kick this one away. Back deep to return, Isaiah Payne along with Ryan Mitchell. Brown makes the approach, drills this one. It'll be hauled in by Payne across the 15 to the 20. Payne darts it upfield, slicing through 30, and then he got grabbed and wrestled to the turf near the 33-yard line by Jermaine McCaskill. So that's where the Spartans will come out, first down and 10. Had a chance to catch up with Boardman head coach DJ Doda earlier this week, and he told me, look, this program is in a really good place. He has some very high expectations. He said he feels very comfortable. This is the first year he's felt that way with the program. He wanted to get it the way he wanted to be, and of course, he's had so much success previously at Warren Harding and West Branch. Now in his 5th season heading up this Boardman program. And he'd love to pick up a win in the season opener. Spartans have it, first down and 10. It's a run play over the right side. Ahead to the 37-yard line goes Butto.
We talked about the athletic ability of Frank Butto, and we've talked about Asante Michael. Asante Michael plays safety, and he's up at that line of scrimmage, and he's the one that ends up making that tackle. About 4 or 5 yards down the field. So, not only is he a skilled quarterback, but on defense, he's willing to stick his nose in there and do some of that dirty work near the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here come the Spartans. The quarterback is Cash Felger. Felger takes the snap, and we have a flag. Delay of game, perhaps.
Delay of game, quarterback. 5-yard penalty, replay down.
So that makes that moderate pickup, that modest pickup on first down. All for naught. It's back to second down and 10 now. From the 33-yard line. Busted play. Felger got dropped. Couple of defenders there, but Draylon Tubbs polished things off.
And look at the penetration. 2-3 different D linemen just beating their guy. Beating them right off the block. And see Deion Perry among others there.
Boy, that defense for Youngstown is scary, that's for sure. Draylon Tubbs, solid on the defensive side. He's getting college looks. He told me, I just look to dominate. Very physical player. He has good speed for a big guy as well. On third down, Butto busting free. Butto lowers the shoulder and rumbles ahead. He was diving for that line to gain. And we'll see exactly where he is ruled down. We have a defender that is down on his back, but
look at this play. I mean, there's nowhere for Frank Butto to run. I mean, he does a great job of just taking one step backwards and getting around that edge. Otherwise, that's a loss of 2 or 3. And again, it's that disruption again by that Youngstown defensive line, just getting that early push, but you can give Frank Butto credit.
So we have an injured defender being attended to. It will be short of a first down. He dove for it, did Butto. As we see some cramping taking place, and hopefully we don't see a ton of it, but you tend to in week 1. Which frustrates the players because you can't play at your full peak when you have your muscles acting up.
Yeah, I think you referenced it earlier. We're just lucky that it's not 88 and humid out here still. I mean, I think that cuts down a little bit on that. But, we talked about conditioning and the move to victory that, it's, you do so much in conditioning, you do so much through those scrimmages, but, you don't go 100% every single play for 4 quarters until you come here in week 1.
So the Spartans have it. 2 yards, the line to gain. There's movement, and that's going to be a first down.
Big Charlie Harrison moved early. We talked about an aggressive defensive line. There's.
I beg your pardon. That's some Boardman movement. You and I jumped the gun there. That's going to back the Spartans up. It'll be third down and 7.
Well, I didn't see that originally. I don't know if we have a replay of that or not, but, Youngstown will take it defensively. You had yourself in a pretty good third and manageable situation. Now back to a 3rd and 7.
Mitchell and Butto are the running backs for Boardman. Felger calling out the play. Spartans break the huddle. Third down and 7 for Boardman. Misdirection play, wide open and spinning his way free is Aiden Moore. All of that sort of crisscrossing with the wing T that we've seen teams over the years utilize, but Moore wasn't able to break his way free. He picked up about 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down and 3, and Boardman will likely punt the ball away. Yep, that's the case. Ryan Mitchell to punt it. Michael to return. Kick is away. This is a bit of a deeper kick, angled towards the far sideline, out of bounds. Timeout on the field. We'll take it as well on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. 9:12 left to play, third quarter. 6-3 in favor of the Youngstown defenders over the Boardman Spartans. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you. First down and 10 for Youngstown. The running back is Tristan Pollard. On the keeper, this is Michael breaking free. 35, 40. Look at Michael go midfield. Pushed out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Perilously close to a little bit of a late hit out of bounds after he had sort of given himself up. But when you have a slithery, very dangerous player like Michael, you have to take no chances.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you heard him at halftime say that he wants to put on a show, and boy, on that first play of their drive, he does put on a show.
36-yard pickup for Asante Michael. Low snap, Michael dumps it off left side, catch is made to the 50. What a move, 40, down inside the 40, 35, and the 34-yard line rumbles Dalen Farrell. And that is a big-time pickup for Youngstown, and it will be another defender's first down.
And they've ran that play about 4 or 5 times tonight with pretty good success. They keep going back to it. Those other Youngstown receivers able to get their blocks, and you just see the individual effort by Dalen Farrell, avoiding a few tackles, picking up a couple extra yards.
Michael zips it left side. It's incomplete. Pass intended for Khalil Mason. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 play for the defenders.
You see Asante Michael really fire that one in. They probably had a little too much heat on it for his receiver, but you love his ability to get rid of the ball quickly, both on those screens and, you see that pass right there.
Second down and 10. And the handoff goes straight up the middle, 25-20, down to the 15-yard line goes Tristan Pollard. Into the B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel red zone go the defenders.
And this has kind of been the plan here coming into the season for the defenders. You have Asante Michael able to run out of that quarterback position, but you also have Sidney Davis and Tristan Pollard back there. And if you could get those three, a three-headed monster out of the backfield, you're going to have a lot of success.
"20-yard pickup. Michael keeps it himself, sweeping the left side, spinning free. He got whacked a couple of times, but muscles his way down to the 11-yard line.
Boy, Michael just does an unbelievable job of reading the end. Kelly Pavlik that time. He baits him in, and once Pavlik committed to inside, he went outside.
So the defenders inch ever closer to the end zone. Snap goes to Michael. Michael keeps it himself, blasting his way inside the 10-yard line. This is a very methodical, time-consuming drive on the ground for Youngstown.
Boy, I hate to even say it. First time tonight, either team really has a rhythm going offensively. They're getting to the line quickly. They're mixing it up. Who's touching the ball? No penalties, no turnovers. And boy, that's what you have to strive for, that consistency, that rhythm on the offensive side of the ball.
Line of scrimmage is the 8-yard line. Defenders knocking on the door, and we have a flag.
You could 100% blame me.
The announcer's jinx, courtesy of Ralph Sandy.
Youngstown, 5-yard penalty, 3 play to death.
It's kind of a microcosm of the entire night. You
And-
get something going, and the penalties.
Right, and that time it's Khalil Mason all the way on the outside, lined up as a wide receiver. Like, there's no reason for him to jump off sides, especially when you have a rhythm going like that.
So that will bring up a 3rd down and 8 play from the 12-yard line for the defenders. Tristan Pollard is the running back. He will line up to the right of quarterback Asante Michael. Michael with a long count. He'll bring a man in motion. Michael takes the snap, firing left corner of the end zone, incomplete. Pass was intended for Khalil Mason.
Well, Mason wanted to make up for that penalty right there. He tries to get a jump and beat his guy to the corner. Had a little bit of separation, had to try to come back for that one, and that ball was overthrown by Michael.
Isaiah Payne on in coverage. And it is 4th down. Upcoming for the Youngstown defenders.
And just that one penalty, you see what it does to a drive. It takes you out of a short yardage situation now to a 4th and 8.
And we have a whistle, and we have what? Perhaps a timeout taken. It is a timeout called. We'll take it as well. 4th down upcoming in the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. 6:21 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Youngstown 6, Boardman 3. Defenders facing 4th down and 8. What a shot in the arm it would be for a conversion for the defenders. What a shot in the arm it would be if Boardman can come up with a stop. The running back is Tristan Pollard. Triangle behind quarterback Asante Michael. Michael fakes the handoff, sprints out, firing, it's caught inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Chris Bricker hauled it in, he got decked, but it'll be 1st and goal defenders.
Nice rollout here, looking down the field, has 2 guys to choose from, goes with Bricker, takes a big hit there at the end, but fortunately for Bricker, is able to hold on to that football, and you have an injured Spartan out there. Looks like the defensive back who made that tackle.
Coben Scarcella.
There's another look at it right here on the run. What an accurate pass. There you see the nice tackle by Scarcella. And he gets up and he goes right back down. Well, you talk about a shot in the arm and make it a big play on a 4th down. Boy, it doesn't get any bigger than that here tonight.
Yeah, put a star next to that play. That was an important piece of passing by Asante Michael and an outstanding grab by Bricker. And slowly walking off the field under his own power is Coben Scarcella.
And there you see what happened after the play.
Grabbing of the face mask, and so that's a late flag that was thrown in. So after all of that, they'll mark the ball down to the 2-yard line. And a chance for the defenders to come up with an important touchdown here in this 3rd quarter.
And now this is a situation, Chad, when you need 2 yards and you just got to get those big guys up front to get some movement. We've seen Youngstown with the ability to run the football up the middle here tonight. You need those big guys to move people 2 yards and get on the scoreboard and make it a 2-score game.
Again, the running back is Tristan Pollard. Asante Michael gives it to Pollard, trying to get to the edge. Pollard races in for the touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run for Tristan Pollard. The defenders increase their lead.
That wasn't where the play was designed to go, but that athletic ability by Tristan Pollard enables him to get outside. And boy, I tell you what, they snapped this ball with about a half a second left on that play clock. Just barely got it off. And there you see, just unable to catch him. Turns it upfield for those 2 yards and makes this a 2-score game. And now another cramping issue out there, and that's Asante Michael.
So what a job by this Youngstown Defenders team. Pollard capping things off with that 2-yard scoring scamper. Of course, the WKBN Big 22 shines the spotlight on the area's best football players. The Big 22 sponsored by Loop Stop and by Coca's Pizza. Go to WKBN.com and click on sports to see the top high school football players from the Valley. So Asante Michael is going to trot his way off the field.
And you can't blame him for cramping up. He's really a guy that just doesn't leave the field. He's out there special teams, offense, defense. And they're going to want to get him back out there as quickly as possible as we head here to this point after attempt.
Austin Brown missed his earlier extra point. Snap is back, ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 6:09 left to play in the third quarter, and it's the Youngstown Defenders now with a 10-point lead at 13-3 here halfway through the third period. A big smile, as you may have caught, on the face of head coach Seth Antrim.
And I'm sure he preached at halftime that consistency, getting things together. And boy, they came out here defensively, got to stop. They get the ball back, and they were consistent, and they looked the part that time on that one.
Yeah, they really did. They looked a lot more confident. You mentioned rhythm, but the penalties at some points, you feel so defeated when you really thwart a drive by hurting yourself. But the big penalty there, and then the big pass completion from Michael, that was an important play. They didn't hang their heads. They completed it and punched it in.
Yeah, the ability to overcome a mistake. They hadn't had that in that first half, and the ability to do that there probably gives them even more confidence now.
Austin Brown set to kick it off. Back deep to return for Boardman. It's Isaiah Payne and Ryan Mitchell.
And when you're struggling, oftentimes you look to your special teams. You wonder if the Spartan special teams unit could give this offense a lift here.
It's a low line drive, little squib kick, which will nestle its way for a second inbounds, and then it spins its way out. So the kick out of bounds, a penalty assessed against the defenders. But we talked about it, just a very well-rounded and a very thorough and a very rhythmic drive for the defenders, Ralph.
Yeah, I think the most impressive part is how many people touched the ball, the things that they did. You saw Tristan Pollard, you saw Asante Michael, you saw a big completion throughout it, and there's the big completion on fourth down.
That was a big one.
Then you come right down here, you get outside, score the touchdown. You could just see the relief there, Tristan Pollard, as he gets that touchdown.
Of course, that scoring drive brought to you by our friends at On Demand Occupational Medicine. 2-yard touchdown run by Tristan Pollard, capping off a 9-play drive. So they marked the ball down at the 35-yard line. Butto in the backfield for Boardman. Spartans bring a man in motion. Boardman will keep it to the ground. That's Mitchell.
A really nice job by Mitchell because he's hit in the backfield originally by Chris Bricker, number 22, is able to bounce off it and gain some positive yards.
Pickup of 6. Second down and 4. Lots of penetration, but Mitchell takes the handoff. He has a first down across the 45 to the 46. He's still on his feet, carrying a pile of defenders with him. A pile of defenders.
Absolutely. I'm surprised we haven't got to that one earlier. But give credit to the Spartans that time, because really, you look at the way that Youngstown defense was lined up. They had 8-9 guys in the box.
That play was almost blown up right from the get-go.
But to be able to run against that front and pick up that first down is a credit to those guys up front. You look up front and see Elvin Bogart out there with a big block, number 65.
And more cramps. WKBN's Big 22 includes the 5 blocks of granite, which honors the top high school football linemen in the Valley. It's sponsored by the Moransky Companies and Tight Seal Glass Block. Go to WKBN.com and click on Sports for details. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you. Seth Antrim up in the top right corner of your screen, hoping for win number 1 for this brand new program in game number 1. In case you're just joining us, we'll show you how this one went down. 3-0 Boardman with the lead, but here comes Youngstown. 14-yard touchdown pass, Michael to Matlock. That made it 6-3, and then a few short moments ago, Tristan Pollard scampers in, getting to the edge, and racing in for the 2-yard touchdown. Extra point made it 13-3 in favor of the defenders. So 5:23 left to play in this third quarter.
And look how tight that formation is for Boardman on offense.
The run play goes up the middle. Boy, he's so strong. That's Butto.
Yeah, at this point, they're saying, listen, we're just going to line up tight. You could line up close to the line of scrimmage, and we're going to try to outman you.
So Butto with the gain all the way down to the 40, right between the, let's see, the 43-yard line.
You wonder at what point Boardman's going to try to sneak one of these guys outside. You line up tight like this, and you get that defense closer and closer to the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 3 following the pickup of 7. This play blown up as Felger was sacked. Marcus Cobb, second time he's done that here tonight.
Boy, they had something planned right here, because you watch Cash Felger fake the handoff, and it looked like he was going to pivot out of there, but man, he had nowhere to go. Marcus Cobb just converges so quickly.
It's a loss of 4 yards on the play, setting up 3rd down 7. Felger turns and gives again up the middle. A wall of defenders blow that thing up as Butto had nowhere to go. A short pickup, but not very much, and it'll be 4th down upcoming. We'll call it a pickup of 2, and it'll be 4th down and 5 from the Youngstown 45-yard line.
We talked about the size of Charlie Harrison earlier, both offensive and defensive line, and he's the one that ends up bringing down Frank Butto. And wonder if Coach Dota's thinking about going for it here on this 4th down, try to steal some of that momentum back from the defenders.
And that's exactly what he's going to do. He leaves the offense back out there. Felger turns, gives, that play stuffed. Dion Perry with a huge stop and the turnover on downs, and the defenders all fired up.
Well, you don't catch this defender's defense off guard. Look at Dion Perry just 3-4 yards deep in the backfield. And if he don't make that play, Tristan Pollard's sitting right there to make it.
Boy, Perry, so aggressive as a defender. And he was absolutely on fire. He's the heart and soul. He led Youngstown East in tackles the last several years, and they'll line him up at different positions. He told me his biggest attribute, his asset as a player, he's a great communicator. He's sort of the quarterback of the defense. He gets off blocks. He's tremendous. He made a big play there. Off the turnover on downs. Youngstown dumps it off. Far side on the left. Catch is made down to the 45. And Farrell muscles his way close to, if not for a first down.
And you can't blame Youngstown for going back to that play. They keep going back to the well, and each time they do, it's a positive play. There you see a nice block on the outside, and then just a great individual effort by Dalen Farrell, breaking a couple tackles, getting about 11 or 12-yard gain.
Officially a pickup of 11 indeed. It is a first down as we're closing in on 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Asante Michael sends out 3 wide receivers. He turns and he will keep it himself. Dumps it off left side. Catch is made down to the 35. Down near the 30-yard line. That's near another first down on the receiving end. Mike Stanley.
And these are things you can't teach. There you see the fake. He's going to keep that, and all of a sudden pressure in his face. He just dumps it off to Mike Stanley.
Who made a great catch, by the way, also.
Because at that point, you think he's going to go down and block somebody. He has the wherewithal to turn his head and catch it.
Second consecutive play, picking up 11 yards. Inside 2 minutes left. Defenders on the move. Youngstown keeps it to the ground. Good, strong, hard, physical running. Down inside the 25-yard line. On the carry, Sidney Davis.
Davis looks a little bit hobbled there, but wants to stay on the field because, again, we talked about that rhythm. We're starting to see it again from the defender's offense.
Michael looking to throw, pumping, firing, end zone. It's incomplete. Mason had a gift wrap touchdown, and he dropped it. And he will be seeing that one in his dreams tonight. It doesn't get any closer than this.
Well, I tell you what, Michael puts it right on the money. Mason obviously upset about that, but you know they're going to come back to him at some point. It may not be tonight, but they know that he has the skills on the outside to beat his guy. He shows you right here what he could do one-on-one.
Third down and 2 for the Youngstown defenders. Michael with some cadence, and it's going to be false start against Youngstown.
Full start, Youngstown. 5-yard penalty from the previous block. We play third down.
And so, we'll back the ball up, and it'll become third down and 7. 3 wide receivers set for the defenders. Asante Michael floats it. It is almost intercepted. Tried to float it. And right there for Boardman, Santino Walker almost had a gift-wrapped pick.
Yeah, the first time we see Michael kind of rush a pass a little bit, has some pressure coming at him, just overthrows a bit. And now we have another big fourth down. There you see the numbers for Michael here tonight, 11 of 20, 104 yards, a touchdown, interception. And boy, if you'd have told me coming in tonight they're going to throw the ball 20 times, I'd be like, wow, that's shocking. But boy, we're still in the third quarter and 20 pass attempts.
And now we have a timeout called by Seth Antrim. I don't think he liked the alignment. There was some confusion, it appeared. Some players are kind of puzzled looking around, and he said it's already a tough enough situation on 4th and 7, so we better make sure we are right. And by my count, that is Youngstown's second timeout, so one remaining.
Yeah, some of these schools are already back.
Yep.
Most will go back next week.
All right, here we go. 4th down and 7 for the defenders. Asante Michael brings Farrell in motion, right to left. Michael is grabbed and he is sacked. Big defensive play for Boardman. Khaled Mohammed. And he's a young man that the Boardman folks have some very, very high hopes for, and he came up with a big sack.
Yeah, Ryan Mitchell forces him up into the pocket, right into the hands of Muhammad. And Boardman needed a stop, and they get it right there.
Boy, they sure did. Khaled Mohammed, he's an absolute beast. Had a chance to catch up with him a couple of weeks ago, and he was so fired up for this opener, and he was so fired up with what he thought. He's a team captain, what he thought this team could accomplish. Coach Doda said he's probably the best lineman at Boardman since he's been the head coach.
Wow, I mean, that's a huge compliment. Starts on both O and D lines. Definitely came up with a big play right there.
On 1st down, Logan Miller under center. Miller will give it. Big gainer across the 45 ahead to the 48-yard line. That's Ryan Mitchell. And that'll be a Boardman 1st down.
And that time you see Boardman put two guys wide, spread it out a little bit so those Youngstown defenders aren't in the box. And able to break a nice one there.
Ryan Mitchell picks up a big 13 yards on the play for the Spartans. And he is in a bit of a groove now. Put his shoulder down and running through defenders. Boy, he runs hard as well. On 1st down and 10, 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Quick hitter up the middle, and there wasn't much running room at all for Butto. Harrison was there to clog things up, and I'm not so sure we're going to snap it again until it's the 4th quarter. Final 10 seconds are ticking off the clock, and let's see if Boardman gets it off or if they'll just head to the 4th. We've played 3 quarters of football here in Boardman. We go to the 4th. Youngstown 13, Boardman 3 on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. "12 minutes to play here in Boardman. It is Youngstown 13, Boardman 3. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you. 2nd down and 11 for the Spartans. Logan Miller in at quarterback. This is Ryan Mitchell. Mitchell spins his way inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line. Lestuan Casey Jones was there to make the stop for the defenders. Boardman needs some points in the worst way. Feels like it's a little bit more of a lopsided game with how Youngstown has come out in this second half, but a touchdown here changes the entire complexion. Logan Miller takes the snap, looks to throw, zips it. It is deflected and caught for a 1st down. Hauled in by Coben Scarcella. Off the deflection, and the lucky bounce finds the way of the Spartans. It's tipped up, and great job of concentrating by Scarcella. 4th quarter, Spartans on the move. Logan Miller with a long count, and he turns and gives up the middle. And the pile taken for a couple of extra yards by Ryan Mitchell. 2nd down and 6. Logan Miller gives it to Butto straight up the middle. And Butto down inside the 30, wrestled down at the 28-yard line. From the 26-yard line, again the give is to Butto. Butto stacked up and pushed backwards. That was Lestuan Casey Jones once again.
You're going to trust that offensive line.
Miller with a long count. And we have a timeout taken by Boardman with 8:49 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Spartans facing 4th and 1 after this on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. 8:49 left to play here in the fourth quarter. It's the Youngstown Defenders 13, the Boardman Spartans 3. An important 4th down in one play for Boardman. They need some points in the worst way because time is not on their side necessarily. Logan Miller under center. And Miller tries it over the right side. And it is a first down for Boardman. First down and 10 Spartans. And again, another piece of strong running from Butto.
Yeah, I mean, didn't get it on that last play. They come right back to him, and he does his job, extends this drive. There you see the numbers on Butto, 15 for 64.
And the run play goes to Mitchell, blasting his way up the field. It's inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line, and in to the B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel Red Zone. Mitchell has been the workhorse along with Butto.
You know, they both have a lot in common, both very physical runners. And, you know, we haven't seen a lot of that misdirection, that wing tee that we often see.
Just sort of straightforward, right at you.
Just power running.
Mitchell and Butto split in the backfield behind Miller. And the give again is to Mitchell, and Mitchell powering his way down towards the 11-yard line, and he did a good job to even get the little yardage that he did. He was grabbed as soon as he took that handoff, but kept fighting his way forward for positive yardage.
Yeah, watch Draylon Tubbs, number 50, just go for the tackle and watch him finish the run. Ryan Mitchell just continues to fight, probably gets 2 yards out of it when that probably should have been a 2-yard loss.
It'll set up 3rd down and 1. And let's see, do we have an injury or what is the situation here? They're going to eyeball it to see if it's enough for a first down, and evidently they're going to say it is a first down.
Well, and that shows you how big of a run that was.
Yep.
You know, with Tubbs on your back, you're able to carry the load for a yard or 2, and that's 2 big conversions here on this drive.
So it is first down and 10 inside the B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel Red Zone. Boardman with the football, threatening once again to cut into this 10-point deficit. Spartans bring a man in motion. Run play comes to the near side. Look at Butto powering his way in. Touchdown! Frank Butto with a full head of steam cuts into this deficit. Spartans right back in it. In for the important extra point. His kick is up. His kick is good. 6:58 left to play here in the ball game. It's now 13-10. Youngstown leading Boardman on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Brody Ferris will kick it off. Back deep to return for Youngstown. It's Keith Franklin, near side. This one is a twirling kick. Hauled in, taken across the 5 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20. And Farrell is stacked up and dropped at the 20-yard line. Great special teams coverage by Cohen Truman of Boardman. And it'll be first down and 10. So now we saw this Youngstown team get into a rhythm offensively. Can they do it again?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to, right? I mean, I feel like Boardman has some momentum going on their way, had a good drive on offense, and is going to try to get a big stop here.
Boardman got just what it needed on that previous drive. A steady diet of Ryan Mitchell and Frank Butto. certainly a major part of that. Big pass completion off the deflection here. And that led things to the Ryan Mitchell show. And then Butto capped things off with the touchdown run as we get back to it. Across the 25 to the 26. That scoring drive sponsored by On Demand Occupational Medicine. The 12-yard touchdown run by Butto, cutting this deficit to 13-10. Tristan Pollard on the carry, and now it's important for Youngstown to work on this clock and continue to pick up first downs. But Boardman certainly has life. That's certainly the case. Down by just 3. Michael with the back to his right will turn again and give it over the right side. Good piece of running across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. That was Pollard for a first down. So that will help the defender's cause.
And you can see Pollard limping, calling. If he can come to the sideline, he'll go out, but he did his job picking up that first down.
Sidney Davis races back into the backfield for Youngstown.
And what a luxury that's been tonight to have Michael, Davis, Pollard all getting quality carries.
Michael looks to go to the air, pumping, throwing, near side, downfield. There was some grappling, and there's going to be pass interference called. DJ Dota is livid on the near sideline.
We'll take a look right here, see if we could see the contact. A little bit of hand fighting, but boy, that sure looked like Khalil Mason pushed off and he went to the ground. We have obviously the luxury of replay.
So now they're going to march off the yardage from the original line of scrimmage. Never did like the NFL rule that it's a spot foul because it's so subjective.
And it's so punishing. Sometimes you get a 40-yard penalty. You know, if that contact so far down the field, it's game-changing.
Yep, no doubt. But we don't make the rules.
At least they haven't asked us to yet.
I don't think they're going to.
I'm waiting.
First down and 10 now for Youngstown. It's Michael handing it off right side to Davis. Davis picks up a few yards and 2 timeouts for Boardman. At what point do you start needing to use those?
Yeah, still a lot of time left. I mean, your defense has played well as of late, getting some stops, getting some.
And now Davis is banged up. They already lost Tristan Pollard. He had to go out with an injury. Michael fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he got dragged down as a flag is thrown in from the far sideline. So we'll see if that's a hold. That would be an important hold if it's called against Youngstown. Oh, sideline warning. Okay. No harm, no foul there. Pickup of 4. It'll be second down and 6.
And so they bring Keith Franklin, the sophomore, in at running back because of the injuries to Davis and Pollard. You wonder how much trust they'd have in this big situation.
I jumped the gun there. It's a first down now. Following that gain, they were just waiting to see what the penalty was. So Michael fakes the handoff, sweeping the near side. He's to the 40, 35, spun down and muscling his way inside the 30-yard line. And that will be another Youngstown defender's first down.
Boy, how impressive has he been tonight? I mean, we're not even going to talk about what he's done on the defensive side of the ball. Again, the play fake to Franklin, able to roll out. And look, he just doesn't go down easily either. He fights for those extra yards, picks up another first down in a critical part of this game.
Clock ticking down to 4 minutes left. Michael will give it. And it was Pollard. Wrapped up at the 29-yard line. Youngstown letting that play clock wind down. They give this to Franklin. Franklin busts it to the outside, and he got dragged down near the 26-yard line. And it was tough to see if he went out of bounds. The clock is stopped at the 3:08 mark.
Yeah, I bet Coach Antrim would have cut that back a little bit. There was a couple more yards in there, and that clock would have kept on running.
So that now will set things up for a 3rd down and 8. This is a huge play here, Ralph, with 3:08 left. A conversion here for Youngstown would be massive. Michael fakes the handoff, and he is dropped. Ryan Mitchell blasting into the backfield and was all over him, and now it's 4th down and long, and Boardman will call a timeout.
And really, with this big negative play, you don't even have the opportunity, I think, if you're Youngstown, to go for it. I mean, you're in such a long 4th down distance. That Boardman defense needed to make a play, and boy, they sure did. You need big runs, you go to Ryan Mitchell. You need a big play on defense, Mitchell steps up again.
Of course, when we're done here tonight, we will select a play of the game. Our play of the game is sponsored by Stadium GM and by Bechtel Controls. So a pivotal play here late in the 4th quarter with 2:59 left. Each team now with 1 timeout remaining. The line of scrimmage is the 34-yard line of Boardman,
who has lined up at punter. You don't know what he's going to do back there. Has probably the choice to punt it or run it or do something.
Flag is down. Michael punts it up high in the air. It will take a Boardman bounce and be touched down at the 21. There was a flag that came in, however, and it's going to be against Youngstown. Do you decline the penalty and just get the ball back now, or do you make him do something again?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think he could punt it better than that. I mean, there wasn't much yardage gained on that punt.
And it looks like, well, they were asking if Coach Dodo.
Youngstown. Boardman has declined the penalty. Result of play, 1st down Boardman.
But Boardman trailing by a field goal. Boardman with the football, 1 timeout remaining. Spartans will go to the air. It is Miller. Miller firing. It is caught, hauled in by Colben Scarcella. And a flag has been thrown at the tail end, and now another flag. So these will be important calls right here. 2 separate flags.
Hold on. You have personal foul against Youngstown. Laid it out about personal foul. Laid it Youngstown. 15 yards from far.
So that is a huge play.
We take a look at it, trying to bring him down.
So now the line of scrimmage is the 46 of Boardman. Spartans on the move. 1st down and 10. Run play right side. Butto picked up a yard.
You're going to start to see Boardman get to that line of scrimmage, start to go a little bit quicker here.
Back under center is Logan Miller. Boardman trailing by 3 late in the 4th quarter. Miller looks to throw, steps up, firing. It is caught and dropped. Incomplete, intended for Ryan Mitchell. The defenders were all over that. Chris Bricker was the first to arrive. And it drops harmlessly, incomplete.
Ricker came up with a huge catch on the offensive side of the ball, comes up with a huge breakup of that pass. Dangerous play by that Boardman offense.
And it'll be 3rd down and 9 upcoming for Boardman, who has given itself a chance. Miller will go back to the air, firing, incomplete off the fingertips of Aiden Moore. May have rushed that pass just a bit, and it'll be 4th down and 9, and for all intents and purposes, 4th in the game with just 1 timeout left. They'll need 9 through the pass or on the ground somehow, some way. Play clock down to 1. There was some movement across. Who jumped first?
It definitely looked like Marcus Cobb moved. Alvin Bogart responded. We'll see. Wow.
Yeah, the play clock, I saw it, was winding down. So that's going to make it 4th down and 14 for Boardman. Delay of game is the call. There was some movement. I think everybody was a little bit jumpy there with that clock winding down. 2:07 left, 4th and 14. Miller looking to throw. Miller heaves it downfield. It's intercepted. Picked off by the defenders, and that will seal the deal. Picked off by Mike Stanley, and the Youngstown defenders will soon be officially able to celebrate their first victory.
Yeah, Logan Miller had to get rid of that football, had pressure, had to try to make something down on a 4th down and long. Just throws it up for grabs, and Mike Stanley, who missed one earlier, finally gets his interception here tonight. Here's another look at it from the backside. You look at Stanley just reacting like a center fielder.
So 1:57 remaining. Boardman can stop the clock just once.
And for Youngstown, you have to wonder who's going to be back there to run this football.
Looks like Sidney Davis has checked into the backfield. Again, it's still just a 3-point lead for Youngstown. As long as they protect the ball, we'll walk out of here with the win. This is Davis, right side. Spartans trying to strip it free. And a timeout has been called with 1:48 left.
Timeout Boardman. Their last.
So Boardman will not be able to stop the clock again. You can take a couple of knees, and that will certainly drop it down, but there would still be some time left when it was 4th down, of course.
Yeah, you definitely want that next first down, and with as well as Asante Michael has played tonight.
Michael awaits the snap. He will dump it off right side, and it's incomplete. Wow. That
A little bit of a shocker.
Puzzling. Yeah.
I mean, if it would have worked, it sure would have looked great, but he probably would have picked up that first down and more. But it stops the clock, brings up a 3rd down.
So Boardman not dead just yet.
No, you got to have a lot of faith in that O-line and probably in Asante Michael to keep the football here on 3rd down and try to pick something up.
Michael with Davis behind him. They'll give it to Davis. Davis straight up the middle. Davis powering his way. Does he have enough for the first down? Indeed he does. And the Youngstown defenders move the chains. And they're just about 97 seconds away from a big celebration.
And speaking of celebrating on one of those last camera shots, I saw Youngstown Superintendent Jeremy Batchelor on the sidelines smiling. Has to be so proud of this group.
Yeah, they have come together. We were there week 10 last year, the final meeting between Cheney and East. When that game was over, the two schools, the two programs came together. They joined at midfield, and they officially merged as one. And Boardman will not be able to stop the clock again. Out of timeouts as we're inside the final minute. Of course, this is a historic night. It's a historic game for the Youngstown City Schools. And there are a lot of folks who have played for any of those city schools down through the years who are beaming with pride here tonight for this first victory for this brand new program.
Yeah, and how nice is it to get that first victory in the first game? I mean, get it right on the books immediately. And it should build a lot of confidence in this group.
All it'll take is one more kneel down. And it's a flag. I don't know if it was a delay of game. Yep, it was. So they'll back it up 5 yards and just delay the inevitable. What a night for Asante Michael. Appropriately taking the kneel. He's had a monster ball game, and that will do it. Final seconds tick on down, and in game one of the Youngstown Defenders football program, Youngstown comes out on top by a final score of 13-10. We will visit with our player of the game when we come back. Final score, Youngstown 13, Boardman 10. We're back after this on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Lots of clapping, lots of smiles, and a huge win for the Youngstown Defenders. Youngstown tops Boardman 13-10 in the debut of this brand new program in the Youngstown City Schools. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski alongside Ralph Sandy, and that is a tremendous feat. It's a tremendous accomplishment to pick up that win. They've been through so much over the course of the last calendar year, merging schools, merging programs. Not the easiest thing in the world, but they pulled it off, and they're in the win column in game one.
Yeah, it really is a feel-good story, right? And really, when you look at this game, first half sloppy on both sides. Youngstown struggled with penalties. But when it comes to that second half, they kind of put it all together.
Let's check out our play of the game. Tonight's play of the game is brought to you by our friends at Stadium GM and by Bechtel Controls. It came late in the fourth quarter. Boardman trying to drive down and potentially kick a field goal to tie the game, but Mike Stanley says not so fast. The interception all but sealed the deal for the victory. 13-10 the final score as Youngstown knocks off Boardman. So we'll take another timeout and we'll continue our post-game coverage after this. You're watching live coverage of the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. The celebration is only just beginning for the Youngstown Defenders, who pick up the victory in game number one in program history. Chad Krispinski back with you. It's time to select our player of the game. Our player of the game award is sponsored by our friends at Classic Real Estate, Stadium GM, and Soup City Designs. Tonight's player of the game, Youngstown quarterback Asante Michael. He completed 11 of 21 passes for 104 yards and a touchdown. Also rushed for 99 yards. And Asante, congratulations on the victory. You know the significance of this, the first game in program history, to win that first game for the Youngstown Defenders as a group. What does this mean to you? What does this mean to this team?
This felt real great for all of us. I mean, it's a good feeling to feel first game in history. We made history tonight.
Tell me about what the message from the coaches was to all of you coming in. Knowing the history of the city schools and Cheney and East and all the other schools down through the years, what was their message to you coming into the game about what they expected for you guys to do? What did they ask you to do tonight?
I mean, we always want to come out the dub, but I mean, Sunday night, Coach Seth sent into our group chat that somebody had us losing 27 points by Boardman. And then the motivation is us as a team. We started texting the group chat immediately. and we wanted to come to practice every day, put that work in, prove everybody wrong.
So to get that victory, tell me what that celebration is like for the Youngstown defenders down there on the field.
I don't even know. It's a good feeling. I mean, I don't even know how to feel right now. But all I know is I'm ready to go party with my boys tonight.
Absolutely. What was the difference? How did you come away with this victory? What was the difference, you think?
I mean, it was come out. We know we got like the best athletes in the area, best bigs in the area. So it was just come out, play us. Don't try to be no superheroes and push the ball down their throat and get whatever they're giving us.
Last thing, assess what you did tonight. Every time your team needed a big play, you answered the bell. Assess how you played tonight because you were full of big plays.
I mean, they see me put the work in every day, and I feel like they wanted me to get the ball in those situations because they feel like I make the right play and lead us to victory tonight.
The Youngstown defenders, 1 game, 1 win. Go celebrate with your teammates.
Yes, sir.
That's our player of the game, Asante Michael. Congratulations to the Youngstown defenders picking up the victory in their debut. So that's the story from here in Boardman. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Reminder, we'll be back with you tomorrow night, and it'll be Valley Christian against McDonald, 7 o'clock on MyYTV, WKBN.com, and WKBN Plus. In the meantime, for my broadcast partner, Ralph Sandy, and all of us here at WKBN, my name is Chad Krispinski, telling you once again the final score. The Youngstown defenders in their debut, 13, Boardman 10. Till next time, so long, everybody.